Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Something's going on with my computer today, so I hope Jenny's going to be on here today.
Good morning.
Hey, Kim.
Morning, everybody.
Sorry, I just realized I was on mute. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, how are we doing?
Good.
Okay. How was your weekend, guys?
It was very busy. It was very busy with grandchildren here.
Awesome.
Nice.
Our daughter and son-in-law are, I think my granddaughter did a little work on my computer yesterday. And it's not
slow.
It's yeah. So they're getting their house. My daughter and son-in-law are getting their house ready to sell. So they worked crazy on Saturday and Sunday. So we had the kids. I don't know how people do it. I mean, that's why God gives you children when you're young.
Exactly.
Yes.
Are you talking about caring for the kids or getting your house ready for sale?
Caring for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's getting your house ready to sell is really hard, especially if you have kids around. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. And you're going to help them buy something too, right?
Right.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. All right. Tell me some other good news. All right. Tell me what else is on your mind.
I did make a lot of contacts this weekend. I made
tell
up
me
for
about
what
it.
I didn't do this past week. I was on the phone with my other accountability partners this weekend, and
Okay.
they kind of check in during the week, and they're like, "Kim, what did you do?" And I was like, I just didn't get it done. So I sat here Saturday and Sunday, and I did 20 calls on Saturday, and I wrote 25 letters on Sunday.
Love it.
Yeah, so lots of work.
Could I make a recommendation? I think you might want to reach out to your accountability partner or partners and say, I slipped a little this past week, and I think what would help me and probably is a little bit more frequent meeting. So for example, if you're only chatting with that person once a week, and that is let's just say part of the reason why you had a few days in a row you didn't hit your numbers, right? Or you were off track. Had you had that conversation with them on Wednesday, and had to explain what happened, or verbalize the fact that you were off track, then you may have done that high intensity work on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday rather than sacrificed your weekend. Right.
You're correct. Yes.
So call that person and say, hey, I think what we should do is, instead of speaking once a week, let's speak every other day or something like that. Even if it's like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you guys have
Tiffany and I usually do that, but we're usually practicing scripts, or like for listing and buying presentations. We usually don't talk about our numbers, but I have other accountability partners where we talk about my numbers, but I will definitely, yes.
Well, if that's the case, then your accountability partner that you talk about your numbers with needs to be revisited.
Yes.
Right. But I think, I mean, it's okay to have a partner, if you will, like a script practice partner that you don't report numbers to. That's totally fine. But the one that is in charge of making sure that you do your work, that relationship probably needs to intensify a little bit. Right.
Yeah.
There's Gene Rivers was interviewed on the One Thing podcast a long time ago. And he says, first of all, you got to obviously know what you're supposed to do every day in order for this to be relevant. But he says, once you're doing it, at the first couple weeks that we're together almost every moment of every day until I can let the leash out a little bit because you know what you're doing and you've developed the right habits. Then you go to once a day. Then you might go to once a week. Then you might go to once a month. But the second you slip on your numbers, we start to shrink it again. And if we need to go back to once a day, then I have to discuss, we have to discuss your motivations and your schedule and your desire to retain the job. Right. It's a little different with respect to for you, and I'm not obviously saying anything crazy here, but that's when he has an employee who's expected to turn in certain stats, right? If you feel like the bottom line is if you feel like you're slipping, get back with your accountability partner or me and say, hey, I'm slipping a little bit. And then we try to get to the bottom of why that was happening, where that came from. All right. Got a few new people on the call. Tell me some good news from the weekend.
Hey, Bill, may I start?
Sure.
So I had a listing appointment yesterday.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm really pleased. And I sent them both the BBA and the listing agreement.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that they would, they agreed to sign it. They agreed to work with me.
Awesome.
They had questions, working on some personal. He's a little, job-wise, he's a little unsure. He's got some pay cuts, so I think they're working all that out. But they're ready. They're ready to move.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm so thrilled.
Great job.
Congratulations.
Doesn't it feel like sometimes we just need somebody to sign some paperwork, and then we have a whole different attitude around our entire business, right?
Believe me, I mean, really, I was like, what the heck? How long is it going to take? And you had mentioned the last time we spoke, you said you'll never know. Sometimes these things just happen unexpectedly from somewhere, or.
Right.
So sure enough, this was kind of unexpected. But yeah, I'm actually quite energized.
Beautiful. We talked about this a month or so ago, where we talked about the idea of luck, right? There's that transition between blind luck and activity-based luck. Blind luck is you sit around and do essentially nothing and wait for luck to happen, right? In all of my years in real estate, no one has ever knocked on my door at my house, got me out of bed and said, hey, isn't there this buyer brokerage agreement thing I'm supposed to sign? Because I want you to be my realtor, right? That's never happened, okay? And I would be shocked if it ever did happen. What the next round of luck is called activity-based luck. That's when you go and create a bunch of relationships and create a bunch of stuff, chaos, right? You're talking to this person, you've made this promise, you're following up with that person, and you've done that with a bunch of people. And then when it comes back to us, we call it luck. I don't know if I'd even call that luck. That's just work, right? That is the byproduct of you doing the right stuff for a long enough time where it comes back to you and it feels like luck because maybe you didn't speak to that person that day, but you created that. You earned every bit of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So good job. And
Thank
the
you.
more chaos we create, the more luck we'll experience. Right?
So it pays off, and if not that, it'll pay off eventually, is what you're saying. One way or the other, all the hard work is somehow going to manifest.
That's exactly right. I'm speaking. I think I touched on this a few days ago. I helped a woman, I think in 2009 or 2008 or 2009, buy a $75,000 townhome in like Tucker area. And
Mhm.
for literally the last 10 years, I've been trying to get that woman back on the phone. And I
Hmm.
have not been able to get her on the phone. Okay. And out of the blue, she calls me last week. Hey, I see this home in Decatur. I want to go check it out. Right. So you just never know. You just never know.
Mhm.
I would have bet a significant amount of money that I would have never spoken to her again. But I was wrong. And I just kept trying anyway.
Mhm.
Okay. Who else wants to share something, and then we'll move on? Anything that you are struggling with that popped up over the weekend that we can talk about? All right. Okay. While I'm thinking about it, I want to just take a minute to recognize Heather Mueller. Her efforts are, we are working behind the scenes to I don't know what the right word is, tweak, edit, add to, whatever the word is, this phenomenal onboarding spreadsheet that she created. So we are going to be using that as we bring agents on board, and probably for a lot of the agents that have joined recently, she has been working behind the scenes to kind of bulletproof our onboarding package and evaluate every line item and make it even better. So we haven't released it, if you will, but I just wanted to give you a high five for that. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, pop quiz, guys. Did anyone see this?
I didn't pull it up last night. I didn't have my computer had started acting up last night.
It was in your emails, I think.
Yeah.
Was. I have not
Yes.
put it in the drive yet because I was testing you to see if you read the email.
Yeah.
I read the email all the way to the bottom. I just didn't have a chance to get it. I read it on my phone.
Okay.
Couldn't pull it up on my computer.
Guys, this is like striking gold. Okay. Like striking gold. There is one for leadership. This is how cool Keller Williams is.
Wow.
Okay. And there's one for agents. Boom. So I just want to spend a couple moments kind of going through this, okay? This is a 44-page script book that is specifically designed for right now, okay? It includes scripts that are, I'll just read the table of contents really fast. Sphere of influence and past client check-in scripts, pricing scripts, listing scripts, price improvement scripts, reluctant buyer scripts, forever home scripts, client request to cancel a pending contract scripts, business to business scripts, refinancing scripts, client has lost their job scripts, Keller mortgage scripts, Keller covered scripts, pivoting from fear, and conversation techniques. So oftentimes the reason why somebody is reluctant to make calls is basically two primary things. Number one is they don't know who to call, and number two is they don't know what to say. Okay, so as a result, we've tried to offer you more and more people to call through the advent of Vulcan 7 and Cole, and to encourage you to grow your database and work with your team. As far as what to say, we've had script books in the drive for a while, and you could Google them very easily as well, or see them on Facebook or or Keller Williams University, or in a variety of places. But I don't think there's much better than getting it right here all in one little file where you can download them and print them out and highlight them. So a lot of the reluctance on, I'm not sure what to say, I'm not sure how to say it, I don't know if I talk about real estate, talk about real estate, it's all right here. Okay, check-ins, general
Phil, you're
call
breaking
check.
up. Yeah, you're
I'm breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, There are general call check-ins. Okay. There's four versions of that. There's 4 versions of texting scripts. Okay. Let me just read one or two of these out for you because today, again, we're going to leave the room open for lead gen calls. We had the first day we had a horrible participation rate. The second day when I guilted you into staying, you stayed, and I appreciate that. And then since then, it's kind of trickled off a little bit. And I can see the results of that in your numbers when you're reporting. So please, if you're going a whole week and having 10, 12, 17 contacts, you're not working enough. You've got to make more phone calls than that. You've got to have more conversations than that in order to succeed, particularly in a shifted environment. Okay, I know it's challenging. It's hard for me too, to work from home and to balance all this new stuff we're not used to balancing. However much time you can dedicate to real estate, we got to find the most strategic 10 minutes or 2 hours or whatever it is to hole up and give it 100%. I'm not asking you to give 8 hours if you can't give 8 hours. I'm not asking you to give 4 hours if you can't give 4 hours, although I think that would be smart. But you just, when you're focused and you're ready to work, all in. All the other times you can be all out. Okay. Just a couple of reading these scripts. Hello, Kathy. This is Bill from Keller Williams. Do you have a couple minutes? The purpose of my call is to check in with you. I'm making calls to my clients and to everyone I know to see if there's anything I can do for you or for your family. How are you doing? How is your wife, husband, spouse, family, kids, pets, etc.? How is the company you work for doing? Are you able to stay home and be safe? I would like to give you my cell phone number so that you can reach out if there's anything I can help you with. Groceries, medicine pickup, deliveries. I want to help. May I give you my number now? Also, if you know of anyone that is in a desperate situation, please let me know and I'll see what I can do to help. I may have some resources to assist people. Right?
So I think with everybody going back, some people going back today or certain things opening up, I feel like there's another like pivot question involved in that of like, how are you with things opening back up, and let them like not make it make it open-ended, because it could be a positive thing for them, right, or a negative thing, and kind of check in on that. So I just wanted to check in with you. I know everything's been crazy, and just how are you today with the new changes of
100%.
Policy?
100%. And that is that is just one more additional layer of relationship building, right? 100%. I would ask that question. Is anything changing for you based on, Georgia starting to open up? I don't know if I'd ask them how they feel about it. I don't know if that's,
no.
I would just say, how are things changing for you? Right. I know this may be a challenging time, so please remember to call if there's anything I can do for you. Let's just say somebody said, you know what, my kid needs this medicine. It's $100 and I don't have $100. Right? Do you think that if you posted on Georgia Legacy Group or the Roswell page, hey, I have a client who just straight up doesn't have $100 to pay for these pills for her kid, would anyone like to throw in $10? I bet you that medicine would be paid for in 5 minutes. And then you can go back to your client and say, hey, by the way, your medicine's taken care of. And if that ever happened, you think you'd have a client for life? I do. $100, you'd have a client for life, right? And most of the money probably didn't even come from you, right? So be willing to have those challenging conversations, because the tougher the conversation is, the deeper the relationship gets and the quicker it happens.
Well, and I think aside from just trying to come up with the money, having like a lot of experience with my own kids, a lot of people don't know that you can call the lab that creates the medicine, whatever the company is that sells it, to see if there's any assistance program.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes they'll cover it. Like I've had medicines that are, gosh, $500 a pop. Or there's one medicine my daughter takes every 4 weeks that's about $2,000 a shot. And with this assistance program, I pay $5 for it.
Yeah. So now, well, you know that, and now the rest of the people on the call and anyone watch this video knows that that's out there, and that could save a lot of people a lot of money, and it could even be more of it could save a life potentially. You never know. So thank you for
And
that.
so with that, it's not just like a one-time thing. And so it's like, hey, what company makes it? What pharmaceutical company does it come from? What's the name of the medicine? Get a little curious. And then you're able to call them and say, hey, are there any programs? I know this person. And then once you get the information, you can either give them the information, or if they don't have something, then you can post and try to get the money for that dose.
Yeah, that's a good first step rather than what I suggested. I like that. It's just going that most people would stop at, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that your kid can't afford the medicine. What are you going to do to go one step further to see if there's something you could help with, right? Is there anything that I or my team can do for you at this time? There's a lot of information and misinformation right now regarding what's happening in the housing market. Like always, I want you to know that you count on me and my team to keep you informed and answer questions that you have. Are you aware that refinancing continues to be a great option, right? If you have not already, you may want to take advantage of the incredibly low interest rates right now. Would you like for me to have one of my lenders give you a call to see if that might be a good option? We have made several adjustments to keep everyone safe as we are still open for business. We're still listing homes and working with buyers in unique ways for the few homes they're interested in.
You're breaking up.
Any better?
Yeah, it's maybe it's your cable. I don't know. It just keeps getting real pixelated, I guess.
Oh, all right. I'll go get my headphones here in a minute. We have made several adjustments to keep everyone safe as we are still open for business. We're still listing homes and working with buyers in unique ways to ensure that they can view homes that they are interested in. These are your unique times, so should you or your family or your friends have any real estate needs or questions, please reach out to me. Like always, we're here to help. I like always because it implies that you would reach out to me yesterday, like certainly today, like always, I'm your guy, right? I'm proactively reaching out to the most important people in my life as we have received many inquiries about about coronavirus. Do you have any questions that I can help you with? Now, don't say that to somebody that registered on your website 3 years ago that you've not ever spoken to, clearly, right? But that could be what you say to past clients, right? Or all the people that closed with you last year, right? How are you feeling about the current situation? What changes have you seen at work, right? As you know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world today. I'm sure that you would agree that right around the corner from uncertainty is tremendous opportunity, correct? Right? Since you're an important person in my life, I want to include you in this conversation and find out if you are in a position to take advantage of the real estate opportunities should they show up, or when they show up, right? There's a little bit more business here. Right, and we have a bunch of text message options as well. Okay, this is just an example of, number one, what Keller Williams is doing for us, and number two is now you have no, I don't want to call it an excuse, but the material is here for you to take advantage of. And the more telephone calls you make, the more dials you make, the more conversations you'll have. And as a result, the more people that you will either add to your database or contacts. I do want to look at one quick thing with you guys. As I'm looking through the numbers, there's one thing that is standing out to me a little bit, which is it does seem like, and I get this, that we're making a lot of calls to our sphere and not as many to strangers. So for example, if you look at the totals, I'll pull it up. It's still adding. So we made 1,300 in April so far. We've made 1,377 contacts. We've only added 331 people to our database. So I do believe that we could and should begin to call more people that we either do not know or just triple check to make sure that you have full contact information for the people you are speaking to. So like, let's say you're calling somebody from in a neighborhood directory or one of your, parents, a kid that's in PTA or school with your kids or something, you may not have all of their contact information. Go ahead and make sure that you grab as much as you can while you're on the phone with them. Email, cell phone, and address being the most important thing. Okay. All right. I think we had some good success last week with setting daily intentions. So what I'd like for you to do as soon as we're done with this call, I want you to jot down, what do you believe is the most important thing you can do today, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So what is the one thing you're going to do today that you've determined is the biggest priority? And that's what I want you to focus on throughout the morning, okay? The letters for DTD2 are H as in Harry and V as in Victor for this week. And texting is T as in text. H, V, and texting is T. So now you know who to call and now you know what to say, okay? Let's see. Any questions? Okay. I will leave the room open. Just a quick review of our calendar today, guys. We are, oops, sorry. Don't forget if I made one cool edit to our MREA2 business models sheet. We added another tab called the Big Rocks. So now once you fill out all the stuff, you got one little tab that has the most important 5 or 6 things that you can then put into your GPS. Today, from 1 to 2, we have a PC orientation. So if you're relatively new to the group or you just want a review of all the offerings and kind of what the initial things you ought to be working on are, that's a good place for that. And from 2 to 3, we have the emerging mastermind. Emerging is 4 to 10 units per year. Okay. Anyone have any thoughts, complaints? Okay.
On your email where you have the different, let me go back to it. Sorry. I was in it a second ago. Where'd it go?
The masterminds?
It says that you'll be teaching this week, the GPS, the dive in chart masters, dive into scripts. Is that on this group or is that something else?
All of that is, so the chart masters and the scripts is just for this group. Mm-hmm. And so that is on Wednesday. And then on Tuesday, the event on Tuesday, I was asked to open that up to everybody. So that'll be for everybody. But
do we follow the same link?
Yes.
We usually do? Okay.
Exactly. Thanks for asking that. Okay. I'm going to mute myself.
You muted yourself before you stopped talking.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just making sure you guys are paying attention. If anyone would like to quickly download this packet, and work some scripts with each other, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I'll see you in half an hour. And my plan is to hit the phone call today personally. So I'll be in the room making things happen. Okay.
I have other things I need to do right now, so I'm not going to stay here. I got to go.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank you.